The next morning, Paris woke up differently. Not because of the weather, not because of the draw ceremony, not because another Grand Slam was beginning. Paris woke up talking about one name, Alexandra Eala. In cafés along the Seine, televisions replayed the footage of the French president stepping onto the clay. In metro stations, commuters scrolled through clips of the crowd outside Roland Garros chanting her name into the night. Commentators who had spent years dissecting topspin RPMs and service percentages suddenly found themselves discussing migration, identity, sacrifice, and belonging. Because somehow, impossibly, tennis had become secondary. And the players felt it too. Inside the locker room at Roland Garros, conversations shifted when Alex walked past. Not out of resentment, not even intimidation. Something stranger than that. Curiosity. The kind of curiosity athletes feel when they realize they are witnessing a moment that will someday be turned into documentaries and remembered in montage sequences years after careers are over. Some players watched her practice from behind sunglasses and towels, pretending not to stare. Others openly stopped and listened, because the sound followed her now. Not just the chants outside the stadium. Not just the Filipino flags multiplying around the grounds with every passing hour. Something else. A kind of emotional gravity. A pressure in the air. Like everyone around her unconsciously understood they were participating in something larger than a tennis tournament, and nobody wanted to miss it. One veteran coach reportedly said quietly near court Susan Lenglen, "This feels like the beginning of an era." And the terrifying thing? The matches had not even started yet. The official draw ceremony that evening was supposed to belong to the favorites, to the reigning champions, to the world number ones and Grand Slam winners whose names traditionally dominate these events. Instead, every camera in the room kept drifting toward one table. Alex sat there in a simple jacket, smiling politely whenever someone spoke to her, completely unaware of how surreal the atmosphere had become around her. Tournament staff were already dealing with logistical problems they had never encountered before for a player ranked outside the top 30. Additional security requests, overflow crowd projections, practice court barricades, emergency scheduling discussions. One executive from the French Tennis Federation allegedly asked whether it would even be possible to place her opening round match on an outside court anymore. The answer came quickly. Absolutely not. Because the numbers coming in overnight were staggering. Search traffic connected to Roland Garros had exploded internationally after Macron's announcement, and an overwhelming percentage of that traffic centered on one player. Hotels near Port d'Auteuil reported sudden spikes in late bookings from Filipino travelers across Europe. Airlines noticed increased searches into Paris from Madrid, Rome, London, and Dubai. It was as if an invisible map of the global Filipino diaspora had suddenly illuminated all at once. And every line pointed toward Roland Garros. Meanwhile, Alex herself remained almost painfully grounded through all of it. That may have been the most astonishing part. No dramatic declarations. No manufactured celebrity behavior. No attempt to capitalize on the frenzy. The morning after the announcement, she showed up to practice before sunrise again. Same headphones, same routine, same quiet intensity. A ball kid later described watching her gather loose tennis balls by herself after practice ended because she didn't want the staff doing extra work for her. That story spread through the grounds faster than any press release ever could, because authenticity cannot be staged at that level. And people know the difference. That authenticity is precisely what made the moment inside court Philippe Chatrier 2 days later feel almost cinematic. It was her first round match. Officially, it was just another opening round encounter at a Grand Slam. Unofficially, it felt like the center of the sporting universe. By the time spectators filled the stadium, the atmosphere no longer resembled traditional tennis. Entire sections of the crowd waved Philippine flags. Handmade signs written in Tagalog appeared beside French banners. Elderly Filipino couples sat next to young Parisian students who had only discovered her days earlier. Somehow, they all felt connected. The warm-up alone received ovations. And when Alex stepped to the baseline for the opening point, the roar that erupted inside Philippe Chatrier was so loud that her opponent visibly paused before returning to position. Commentators fell silent for a moment. Not because they had nothing to say, because there are moments in sports where language simply becomes inadequate. The match itself almost became irrelevant compared to what surrounded it. Every point Alex won triggered eruptions that rolled through the stadium like thunder. Every long rally felt emotionally loaded beyond reason. The crowd wasn't merely reacting to tennis mechanics. They were reacting to effort itself, to resilience, to visible struggle, to someone refusing to back down. And midway through the second set, something happened that perfectly captured why this story had escaped the boundaries of sports entirely. A camera cut toward the stands during a changeover. There, crying openly beneath a Philippine flag, sat a middle-aged nurse wearing hospital scrubs under her jacket. Still in uniform, she had apparently come directly from a shift. The image spread online within minutes. And suddenly millions of people understood the emotional architecture behind the Eala phenomenon in a way statistics never could explain. This was never only about forehands and rankings. It was about recognition. The chance for people who spent years feeling invisible to finally see themselves reflected on the biggest stage in the world. Alex won the match in straight sets. But strangely, that result felt almost secondary by the time she walked to the microphone for her on-court interview. The interviewer asked the obvious question first. How are you handling all of this attention? Alex smiled nervously, looked around the stadium for a second, and then answered with the kind of honesty that cannot be media trained. I don't think any of this belongs only to me. The crowd immediately erupted, but she kept going. I think a lot of people see their own journey in this moment. I just happened to be holding the racket. That line hit the tennis world like lightning. Former players reposted it. Broadcasters quoted it repeatedly. Even rival fans admitted there was something profoundly different about the way she carried herself through the chaos. Not larger than life. Human. And maybe that was the real reason the world had fallen so hard for her. For years, sports fans had been handed polished superstars built through branding campaigns and carefully managed narratives. Perfect answers. Perfect photos. Perfect distance. Then suddenly here came this young woman from Manila who spoke like a real person, fought like every point mattered, and carried the emotional weight of millions without pretending it was easy. People did not just admire her. They trusted her. That is much rarer. And far more powerful, because championships create legends. But trust? Trust creates movements. And as the Paris night settled over Roland Garros, one truth became impossible to deny. French Open had not merely discovered a breakout star. The sport itself had stumbled into a transformation it no longer knew how to contain. The Eala era was no longer approaching. It had arrived.